Okay, I think I'm live. Let me check and see. Yeah, looks like I'm live. See myself on YouTube. Very cool. So, I hope everybody can hear me. Anybody is watching? It doesn't look like anybody is watching. Huh?
Aren't you still practicing something? Wait, is it the cheapest night novel out?
Oh, right there. Okay. I think I got to get new audio through my phone, and I can see there. So this is the Extra Life 2021 24-hour marathon for raising funds for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. So I am here at Affinity for Gaming in DeKalb, Illinois. So if anybody is watching, looks like 3 people are watching. If you can send a comment and let me know if you can hear me, that would be awesome. I know there's a lot of ambient noise. They're playing Magic upstairs. They're playing 40K behind me. And I will be pulling a game out very shortly. Let's see. Trying to see if anybody is commenting. Okay. Well, I am supposed to have a few people here joining me later this evening. Not sure exactly what time people are going to show up. But I can go ahead and pull a game out. So let's see. Get a few games. I got a couple of games here that I can play solo. This is Go Make a Hike. It's a game that I designed. So I will go ahead and bust that out and show it off a little bit. Let me see if I can get the camera here a little bit closer.
So, like, every game.
Let's see.
Yeah, like, no, seriously. No. Seriously. I really cried. It's so bad.
There we go.
They're both going after.
See things a little bit better now.
All of it uncritically.
So,
I don't know.
this is my game, Go Make a Hike. And in it, you are using these trail tiles to build a hiking path. And I will show you how the solo game works, since nobody else is here right now. But these are the trailhead tiles. So start with one of those for me. And then the trail tiles, we will shuffle them up.
Okay. And then what is what battle honors for like like every oh you just get there's like a shuffle. Yeah.
A little bit.
You roll.
They're pretty well mixed up.
Yeah, right. And battle honors. Or like
Okay.
are we rolling?
You know what?
As I roll dice.
One sec. The outlet that I was plugged into doesn't work, and the other outlet is all the way over at the other end of the store. So my wife just showed up with the extension cord. So I will be plugging in everything.
You go to blue bag. Although maybe you should have to roll. Only two on the chart. Watch him roll five.
Okay. Let's see if this works. Yeah, I got power. I do. People watching. Let's see. Phone says it's got power too. Cool. All right. Thanks for hanging in there. So, again, back to this. This is Go Make a Hike. This is a trailhead tile. That's where we start. So I will lay that out here. And then the setup for a solo game, we take some destination tiles, shuffle them up. And then for the park service, they get 2 destinations in each column to choose from. Put the destinations there. Now we have 3 trail tiles. Let's see. Trying to angle these so that you can see them on the screen and they're not taking up too much room. Okay, that looks good. And then we have features. Each of the trail tiles gets a feature. And then there is the park service. Park service will start there. So I'll start my trail here. Move these further away. Nice.
Okay. So I have
You see that? There we go. That'll work. Okay. So the way the solo game works is I take a turn drafting one of the tiles. I can draft one of the bottom destinations. If I have the trail that matches the requirements, beginning of the game, I won't. Or I can draft a trail tile. If I draft the trail tile, I get the feature cube that is on it. It doesn't have to be placed right away. I can set it off to the side. Or I can place it onto a trail tile that does not have a feature on it already. Either a cube or a printed feature. In order to draft a destination, I have to meet the requirements. So I have to meet the distance. For example, the canyon overlook has to be at least 8 kilometers. every square is 1 kilometer. It has to have 2 water features. The blue cubes or the lakes are water. And then it has to have 4 additional features of any kind and 2 viewpoints. The other possible features that you can have are wildlife, which is the forested area or the brown cubes, flowers, which are the flowered areas, or pink cubes, and water. Those are the 3 features that you can have. Viewpoints are white cubes, and they only go on the end of a trail. You put it at the end of a trail, and it prevents it from being a dead end. So this canyon overlook trail would have to have 2 viewpoints on it as well. Some destinations, and I don't have any here, have an X next to a feature type, and that means you can't have any of that feature type. And some, they all give different amounts of points, between 5, 10, 15, or 20. And some of them give bonus points for features that are along that trail. So you're going to start from your trailhead, and you're going to add tiles to your trail, progressing away from there. So I'm going to start, and the way in a single player game, the way it goes is I will draft one of the tiles. I am going to start by drafting, we'll go for this one, and take that. And then I can add it to my trail system somewhere. So this one could go in any one of these 3 places. And I'm just going to add it there and start heading up. And the blue water feature, I'm just going to set off to the side. Now the Park Service will move to the next column, the next available column. So this is the next column that has something available in it. And it will try to collect one of the destinations, or it would collect the trail tile that was there. In this case, it can choose from these 2 destinations. It only has to have collected enough trail tiles to match the distance. Doesn't matter what the features are. In this case, the Park Service has not collected any trails yet, so it cannot collect either of those tiles. So when the Park Service cannot collect a destination tile, it collects all the trail tiles and features to the right of it. So now the Park Service has 4 kilometers towards a trail. And then we restock the tiles for drafting. So that was the end of round 1. Now new features will come out anytime the next tile has a map symbol on it. So you see the map symbol. So the next time when the next trail in the stack has that symbol on it, then all the trails will get a new feature. In this case, it didn't, so we don't get a new feature. So we will go again. I will try to draft one of these, and let's see what I'm going for. The natural bridge here only needs to be 3 kilometers. You kind of see that? And it has to have 1 water, 1 flower, and 1 wildlife. I've already got a flower and a wildlife on my trail system, so maybe I'll be working towards that. So I need to get a water. So I have a tile here that has water on it, or I can put a tile that has nothing on it and use my water cube, my water feature cube, to put on there. This trail also has a branch, so I'm going to draft that one and take the branch. We'll put it up here. And now I have everything that I need for this natural bridge if I want to add that to my trail system. So my trail right now is 1, 2, 3, 4. It would be 5 kilometers. And it has water, wildlife, and flowers. So I could add that. The balanced rock has to be a little bit longer. It needs flower and wildlife, and then one of something else, and a viewpoint. I don't have any viewpoints yet, because those are the white cubes that come out. But I do have a place where I could put a viewpoint if I wanted to go for that one. in the canyon overlook, we've talked about that. Anyway, I'm going to draft that one. And then we're going to move the Park Service down to the next tile. It's a trail that it can collect, and so it does. You know what? I forgot. I'm supposed to have 2 stored destinations that I can be working towards also. So anyway, that's the end of the second round, and we will add 2 more tiles. Now, this next one has a map icon on it, so we will add 3 new features. 1, 2, and 3. So we got flower and 2 water features. So it's my turn to draft. I could add the natural bridge for 5 points right away. There's no viewpoints out there yet, so I think I'm going to go ahead and do that and add the natural bridge. And we'll go ahead and add it here. It requires 3 kilometers, and my trail is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kilometers long. It requires a water, a flower, and a wildlife. So I have all the features it requires. So I'm able to add that to my trail system. The Park Service will then move on to the next column that's open, and it is looking at a frozen waterfall or a canyon overlook. So the frozen waterfall has to be 6 kilometers long, and the canyon overlook has to be 8 kilometers. Remember, the Park Service doesn't care about the features; they just want a trail that's the right length. And they have 6 kilometers worth of trails, which means the Park Service can also collect their first destination. Their destination is worth 15 points. So I see that. So I will put that here. And now the Park Service will be working on their second trail. The game ends either when I complete all my trails and I can't add any more trails to it, or when the stack of trail tiles or the stack of destination tiles runs out. That's unlikely in a solo game. Or when the Park Service completes 4 trails. That's the most common way that a solo game will be. So now we are at the end of that round. We will refill. This will slide down into the bottom column, so now I have access to that. And we will get 2 new ones, 2 new destinations out. So we've added the snowshoe trail, and we have added the mineral springs. Oops. Yeah, mineral springs. So those 2 go in the top row of the destinations columns, which means only the Park Service has access to those. But we're on to the next round, so I can go ahead and draft the tile. Let's see what I have over here that I can work with. I can work toward picnic shelter. That's a real short trail. No water and 1 wildlife. Or I can work towards the ice caves. So that's a little bit trickier. That has to be at least 5 kilometers, have 2 water, with no flowers and no wildlife. But it is worth 5 points plus 1 point per kilometer. So since it has to be at least 5 kilometers, it's at least a 10-point tile. But it's a little tricky to get because it cannot have any flowers or wildlife on it. So I definitely can't put it along my trail here. But let's see. Well, anything that I add up there is not going to work out for the ice caves, but possibly for the picnic shelter. I can do a real short trail if I go ahead and draft here. Now that gets me the 1 wildlife that I need. So that gets me the 1 wildlife that I need. There's no water on that trail. And your private destinations you can add at any time. So I'm going to go ahead and add that right there. Park Service now is at the end of the columns, and it's going to, since I took that trail there, it can't go to that. It is going to go up to here. And 7 kilometers or 9 kilometers, it cannot collect either of those, which means it gets all the trail tiles to the right. So it's going to collect 2 trail tiles. Now it can do a trail up to 4 kilometers, and we will refill the trails. 1, 2, 3, and no features come out. So let's see. That lake looks kind of nice. That's has to be at least 7 kilometers. Have 2 water and 1 wildlife on it, and it's 5 points plus 1 per water. So it's going to be at least a 7 point. So what if I could take this, but if I take that one, then the Park Service is going to jump over to here, and it's going to get another destination. Or I could take one of these 2, and then the Park Service would just get that, which would essentially delay it 1 turn from getting this lighthouse. And I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and take this one.
Okay.
And we'll be working towards getting that rock. We'll put this here, and I can add my 2 water to it, and I can work on that lake. So the Park Service is going to move there and collect that. Now the Park Service has 6 kilometers worth of tiles, and that is the end of that round. So we'll go ahead and put out 2 more tiles, and we've got a map icon there, so we get more features. 1, 2, 3. Okay. The yellow is for an expansion that I'm working on, so I'm going to take those out for right now. I'll maybe explain those later in the night. So we've got flowers. Here's one of the viewpoints that came out, and water. So I was working towards getting this lake. I could add the lake on, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is how long the lake has to be, and it has at least 2 water and a wildlife. But I'm thinking maybe I want to wait, because if I draft this one, I can add 2 more water to it and get more points. If I draft that one, I can get a viewpoint. But you know what? I know the Park Service is going to go here and collect the lighthouse this round. So I got 1 round to wait for that. So I'm going to go ahead and draft this one. And let's just add it this way. Trail there, and I'll put the water on it right away. And maybe go for that lake next round, or in 2 rounds. I got a little while. So the Park Service is going to move to the next one, and the Park Service is going to collect the lighthouse. Which means now we refill. We got the buffalo herd and our flower, and we get another map icon. So if there are any trails out that still already have a feature on it, they get an additional feature. So we've got 2 viewpoints out there. So if I move to here, the Park Service is going to move to here, and it can't collect either of those, so it's just going to collect everything to the right, which is just this. Which that's okay. I'll give it that. Better than it taking 2 cubes. So I'm going to put those there. We do have to add this to my trail system. If I want the ice caves, I want only water, no flowers, and no wildlife. So I think I'm going to add it up to here, because that'll give me another lake or another water feature for my lake. And I'll just hope I can close these other ones off. later at some point. Because if I don't, every dead end is worth loses me a point. So the Park Service is going to move over to here. It can't collect either of those yet, so it collects all the trail tiles to the right. These feature cubes that the Park Service collects is not good either. That they're 2 points each for them at the end of the game, and possibly more if they collect any destinations that require that get bonuses. But let's see. Let's refill. 1 and 2. Okay, no new features. So I know the Park Service is going to collect that tile if I don't. So I could potentially get one more for my lake before the Park Service collects. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one. And we will add it here. Not. We'll take this one. We'll add it. Add it here. And I am going to add my viewpoint. Hang on. Now I'll put it like that. And I'll put my viewpoint. I'll hold on to that because I don't need it yet. Okay, and then the Park Service is going to move down to here and collect that tile. And now we get new ones out. Okay, and now I better move over here and take this lake because I've been working for that before the Park Service takes it. So I'm going to go ahead and collect that. The Park Service is going to come over here. And unfortunately, I just gave the Park Service a bunch of trails because it only has 4 kilometers. And so it cannot collect the snowshoe trail anyway. And so it's going to collect all of these. Now, the Park Service is up to 10 kilometers, which means it can collect any of those destinations that are up. Snowshoe trail slides down. Put a new one out. There's the beach hike. And 3 new trail tiles. 1, 2, 3. And we get new features. 1, 2, 3. Not playing with the yellow. Okay. I can't get to that beach hike, although I would really like it. It would be good on my trails because I could be bonus for water too. So what can I be working towards over here? Balanced rock requires a viewpoint. I've got a viewpoint, but I would need to get a branch. So, we can go ahead and work towards this. Although I don't make any of these. We'll go ahead and take this. And I can really only add that 2 places, there or there. I'm going to go ahead and add it way over here and hold on to the flower. And then the Park Service is going to go over here and collect the cube and that. So that essentially just delays it 1 turn for getting one of these. Let's see what happens. 1 and 2. No new features. So
I thought you were measuring.
I'm just checking on the auction. Got a few people registering on the auction. That's good. Let me check, see, yeah, we got people bidding on items already. Let's see, we go to about recent bids, we can see. Yeah, people are bidding on Circus Corgis, Brass Birmingham, board game pieces, mug, Blockus, Above and Below. There's a lot of good games on the auction this year. Off to a start. We've raised $161 so far. That will definitely climb because the bids are low. But get on to somebody just placed another bid. Chris Williams. Thanks, Chris. Okay. Well, let's go back to the game. So, it was my turn. Snowshoe Trail, 1 water, 1 wildlife, and 2 of something else, and no viewpoints. You know what? I'm gonna actually draft. It's got to be 9 kilometers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can fit that right in there. Snowshoe Trail. That has 1 water. Got plenty of water. It's got a wildlife, and it's got at least 2 other features. No viewpoints, so that's good, and 9 kilometers. So that works, and that helps me out because that brings this beach hike down. Park Service is going to move over, and it is going to look at the 2 trails. It can collect either one of them. It has enough kilometers stored up to collect either one of those. They're both worth 10 points. So it's going to collect the one that gets the bonus. It's going to collect the buffalo herd that's 10 points plus 1 per wild. So that'll go on here. Okay, so we get 2 new destinations. The waterfall and the Overlook Trail. I can't get to either of those. Park Service could collect them, but I got what I wanted. I got that beach hike moved down. So that's important. So next round, do need to figure out what I'm doing with these 2 trails if I'm going to do anything. See, the ice caves require only water. It's got to be at least 5 kilometers. I'm going to try and get those ice caves. Put this over here. And the Park Service is going to come over here and collect this flowers and wildlife. Get 2 new tiles out. No new features. This is good for my ice caves. So I'm going to go ahead and draft that. Park Service is going to move over here. It cannot collect either of those because it's only got 2 kilometers, so it will collect all the trails to the west, or to the right. Moves to there. Okay. Get new trails, no new features. 2, 4. My beach hike is still going to be safe. My ice caves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got enough for my ice caves. The beach hike is going to be safe. What do I want to do with this over here? Maybe I can work towards the balanced rock for that. I don't know that I'm going to have enough time. Let's go ahead and try. Hope I can get the balanced rock. We're going to put this here. I have enough for the ice cave, so I'm going to put that on right now. And then the Park Service is going to move over to here. It's only got 4 kilometers, so it cannot collect the beach hike or the water flow, which means it's going to collect all these trails. And now it's up to 8, which means it can collect these when it gets 1, 2, 3. Oh, good. We got some new features coming up. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Well, when the Park Service collects in this column, that's going to be the end of the game. So I've got 2 turns left to figure out what I'm going to do. That balanced rock has to be 7. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to get something else that I can add on for that balanced rock. It needs flowers, wildlife, and something else. Got flowers and wildlife. And there's my something else is another wildlife. It also needs a viewpoint. So I'm going to go ahead and put the viewpoint here. And then I have to collect 1 other tile. Now, if I collected one of these, if I collect this one, Park Service is going to move to here and it's going to end the game right away. So I don't want to collect that. If I collect this one, it's going to leave another dead end. So I'm going to go ahead and collect this one. Go ahead and put it there. And the Park Service will move to here and collect that, which gives me 1 more round. And we do get new features out. But this is the end of the game. So I can collect that. Yep, I've got 7 kilometers. I'm going to collect the balanced rock and put it here because I have everything that requires. Oh, I didn't get my beach hike. Hang on. I forgot to get my beach hike. That can be worth more points for me. That's worth 10. My beach hike would be worth 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I can get another one out of it. So I'm actually going to collect the beach hike. Throw it up here. That's worth more points. And then the Park Service is going to move over to here. And the Park Service is going to collect the Overlook Trail because it has enough trails, enough kilometers for it, and it is more valuable. And that is the end of the game. So now we will tally up the score and see how I did compared to the Park Service. So I got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 points. I got 30 points in destinations. This is 1 point per water, so I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more points for that. This is also 1 point per water, so that gets me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more points. This one is 1 point per kilometer, so that gets me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more points. That doesn't have a bonus. Oh, that one is 1 point per water too. I got it. No, I already counted that. I counted that one as 1 point per water, which means that this has an extra water, so that should actually 7. Okay. So that looks like my score. You can also score points if you create a loop. I didn't create any loops here. But I do lose 1, 2 points for having dead ends. So -2. So that is 30. 4550 minus 2 is 48. Okay. And let's see how the Park Service did. I think I might have lost to the Park Service. So the Park Service has 15, 30, 45. And let's see how many bonus points. So this one says the Park Service gets 1 point per viewpoint. And they collected 1 viewpoint. So they got 1 point bonus for that. And this one says 1 point for wildlife. So they collected 2 wildlife, so that's 2 points. Plus, in the trails that were in that system, they had another wildlife. So that's another 3 points. And then each of the feature cubes that the Park Service collected is 2 points. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 more points. Which means the Park Service got 45, 55, 61, 265. So I lost to the Park Service that time, 48 to 65. Which sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. So it's been going pretty good. This is the solo version, solo variant of my new game, Go Make a Hike. So you saw me pull out of the cube the yellow feature cubes. Those are for a variant and expansion that I am working on. And in it, the yellow cubes are special features. So I've got all of these various special feature tiles. And when you draw one of the cubes, you have to place it onto your trail immediately. And you can either place it directly on a square, on the border between 2 squares, or on an intersection between 4 squares. And you can put it somewhere where there's potentially going to be 4 squares, and you put tiles underneath there. But let's say a swimming hole was one of these special features. You play with 2 of them in a game. So we'll say the swimming hole and the Mammoth Geyser were the 2 special features. And say when I collected that, I might throw it right there. And then the other one collected, and maybe I would throw behind that. I would throw it. At the end of the game, you score points for every square that has the feature that it wants. So in this case, 2 points for every water feature. If I placed it there, I would get 2, 4, 6, 8 more points. And the Mammoth Geyser is 4 points per viewpoint, and I put it over here where I ended up with only 1 viewpoint. So maybe I put it there before this destination was there, and I was hoping to get 2 viewpoints or on there, but I got 1, so that would have been an extra 4 points. So those are the special features. The other expansion that I am playing with is events. So you would shuffle 4 of these into the trail tiles deck, and then when they come out, there are some events that are immediate, like this one, migration routes. You can move all wildlife features to an adjacent trail segment. So if that came out and I had a wildlife feature here, I could move it over to here, which would open this back up again. And it says that you do not have to follow the trails, and you may have multiple features on one segment. Then we have, let's see, here's another immediate one is trail construction. And that says you may rearrange up to 3 trails not connected to destinations. So if that came up, you know, I could maybe move this and this over here to maybe help me out at the end of the game. So I don't know. Maybe work towards shuffling things around to get another destination. Let's see, where's one more? So this one's kind of fun. Helps out with those situations where the map symbol is not coming up, so you're not getting new features. So it's route planning. Starting with the first player, everybody gets to take one feature of their choice from the bag. And then there are also persistent events. So, for example, hiking in Kansas. So these stay out for the whole game. This one says unplaced features are worth 1 point at the end of the game. So that would have been good for me because I had all 5 of these unplaced features. They would have been worth another 5 points. Let's see, we've also got spring is in the air. So that lets you put flowers, add flowers to trail segments that already have features. So you can go ahead and add flowers up here to places that already have things, and that might help you get something that requires lots of flowers. There's some destinations that require quite a few flowers. Might get you there despite having other. Then there's some of them are for end game scoring, like just keep hiking. That says your longest trail is worth 1 point per kilometer at the end of the game. So in my case, my longest trail would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 points. That would have given me 15 points. So those are the events that I'm working with. So anyway, that is go make a hike. The solo variant. Let me go ahead and clean that up. And then I will start something else. So if anybody has any questions or any games that they want to see, I do have quite a few games with me. And if you're interested in something, you can also ask and I'll share it at home. Because I am doing this for 24 hours, and at midnight I will start streaming again from home, and we'll see. I'm going from midnight to 4 a.m. Then I'm taking an hour break. Then from 5 a.m. to 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. And then taking a break from 9 to 10, and then I'm doing a 3-hour stint from 10 to 1. And then I'm taking an hour break and coming back here to Affinity for Gaming. And I will be here for the end from 2 to 7 tomorrow. So if you want to join me for any of those, that'd be great. Let me get this put away. Okay. So in the multiplayer game, it plays very similar, except you obviously don't have the park service moving along, collecting things. You only have 1 row of destinations that everybody can choose from. And you have a few more trails to choose from each round. Also, everybody has secret goals. They get 2 of them. They get 2 of them to start with. And at the end of the game, they will score 1 of them. So that one that I just showed you says complete all the destination on all three of your starting trailheads. This one is have more flowers than any other player. This one is have no trail that's longer than 10 kilometers. So that's kind of hard to do sometimes. You got to work your branches and stuff. And then this one's have more flower features than any other feature on your trail. So yeah, a bunch of little secret strategies, secret goals that can help drive your strategy. Okay.
I don't know.
Select the destinations.
I think they're
and put the features away.
No, no, seriously. Yeah, Nathan, you get
And there we go. It all packs up nicely into a fairly small box. Okay. So, you know what? I will show you around the store a little bit. How's that sound? Let's see. What are these? There we go. I'll take my phone and walk around the store and show you around. Okay. There is my setup. So, see myself on the computer. Let's I want this one over here. There we go. I think you can see that. There we go. Ooh, that's kind of mesmerizing. Okay, so I am in the downstairs area of Affinity for Gaming, and got some guys back here playing 40K. So lots and lots of miniature stuff on the walls. Some nice game tables with cool painting on these. These are pretty neat. And this is my son's favorite area of the store. All the X-Wing miniatures. And Star Wars Armada. They haven't gotten into that yet. Star Wars Legion. So come on up the stairs here to where the board games are. So they got a little bit of everything. Lots of stuffies. Got some classics up there. Power Grid, Dominion, Zombicide. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then we got some more games over here. There is Cursed Court by Andrew Hansen. He's a Protospiel friend of mine, and I actually helped him play test that at a Protospiel in 2016, I want to say, at Madison. And I got my name in the rule book for helping him out, and it's one of my favorite games. So, I think I got it in my bag. It's been a game night staple. Can't remember if I took it out last week or not, but it comes with me to many game nights because it plays 6 players. It's pretty fast. It's easy to explain, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah, got a lot of cool games here. Yeah. Let's see. Any other games from people I know? Not seeing anything right now. Lots of classics here. And then if we go upstairs a little bit further, we got the Magic group. So they are Friday Night Magic. So there's all their Magic stuff. So lots of good stuff. We've got one of the donation jars here, so got some change in there. It's a D&D stuff. We often have groups playing D&D here. Let's see. Some games on the back here. Some games from Brotherwise Games. They're a big sponsor of the auction. Indie Boards and Cards sent some stuff. Gameland Games sent stuff. What else do we have here? There's one of my favorite for introducing to new players is Pirates, Ninjas, Robots, and Zombies from Rather Dashing Games. They sent a bunch of titles for the auction as well. So be sure to go check them out. Let's see. What do we have back here? Ecos, First Continent. Busier Games. They sent a bunch of stuff for the auction. Yeah. Lots of good stuff. So have you guys checked out the auction yet? Anybody checked it out? It's at charityauction.bid/2021 extra life -GJJ games. Okay, well, let's head back downstairs. There's an extension cord. So the only outlet down here is all the way over there. There we go. So, okay, so let's check out the auction. Let me share my screen. Screen. Nope. Auction. There we go. Ooh, that's kind of dizzying. But there is the auction. These are the most recent bids. Like we've raised $354 so far. Go to the home page. So we got the Great Meeple Race. I'm going to be doing a bunch of events for that later this night. Tonight, yeah. See that UPS package was delivered. So when I get home, I will open that up. I believe that was from Chelsea from the charity board gamer. So we'll see what's in there. There'll be stuff getting added to the auction even after it's already started. So, Lucas just did a buck on, and then we held hands. So if you were watching me earlier today, you got to see a few sample events for the Great Meeple Race, like the table flipping contest, the marble races, Hot Wheels races. So, let's see. So this is one of my one of the items that I am most amazed by, and we'll see if it makes anything. But this is the Ultimate Bundle. It right now it has a value of $832. It has all of these games in it. Trainmaker from Great Home Games, Trainmaker, Virgin Seas, Siege of Sunfall, Jellyfish Game Studios sent Vamp on the Batwalk. Rather Dashing Games has Wakening Lair, The Dark Forest, Half-Eads Grand Bazaar. Peacekeeper Games has Gearworks Deluxe and a playmat. Matt Warden Games has Bird Feeder Frenzy. Lever Playing Cards has Think Ahead and High-Low Poker. The Game Crafter has a $5 gift card. Yub Nub Games has Top Tail, the OG Volume 1. Flying Leap Games has $1 Million Doodle. Peterson Games has Orcs Must Die, the Unchained Edition with 100 glow-in-the-dark skulls. 8-bit Attack Bundle with the base game. Apocalypse, Happy Halloween, Hyperspeed, Mythic Legends, Yogg Safari. Sandy Peterson's Cthulhu Mythos for Pathfinder. Evil High Priest Bundle with the base game, The Blood Ceremony and Dark Ritual. And the Startropolis Bundle with the base game, The Nova Box, and the Tooth Fairy game. So all of those in one game bundle. It has a value of $832, and it has a starting bid of $250. So you can get all of that for less than a third of the value. But hopefully the bids will go up significantly. If you look here, we can see all the games that are in it. So those three. Vamp on the Batwalk. Those from Rather Dashing Games. The Gearworks playmat and the game. Deluxe game. Bird Feeder Frenzy. High-Low Poker, Think Ahead. Lever Playing Cards. The Game Crafter, a gift card. Top Tail from Yub Nub Games. $1 Million Doodle for Flying Leap Games. Here's all the Peterson Games titles. Orcs Must Die. 8-bit Attack Bundle. Cthulhu Mythos. Evil High Priest. Startropolis. And the Tooth Fairy game. So lots of awesome titles, awesome games in there. And these are all games that the sponsor sent at least 4 copies. So if they send at least 4 copies, one of them went into this bundle. So it's a potentially a great deal, but hopefully also a great way to raise money for charity. Go ahead and bid on that. Let's see, what else do we have? We have lots and lots of items that are going 100% to charity. You know what? Let's show this. I'm going to show you my spreadsheet that I've been keeping track of everything that's donated. look at these totals now. We have 588 items listed in the auction. Some of those are bundles with multiple items in it. So if you count individual items that have been donated, we have 696 items. And that doesn't include the stuff that I just mentioned from Charity Board Gamer that I get to go home and open up the box and see what it is. So I will do that on the live stream at midnight, shortly after this. At midnight, I'm going to do an event for the Great Meeple Race. So let's talk about the Great Meeple Race.
Okay.
So there we go. So the Great Meeple Race started in 2019. I did it at the local event that I had there. And throughout the course of the night, people put donations in a bucket for one of the 4 teams that they were assigned to. So everybody that checked in at the in-person event in 2019 got assigned to one of the 4 teams. And then at the end of the event, whichever team collected the most money, donated the most money, we would then, we drew names out of a bucket, and those people won a raffle prize. So this year, we're doing it a little bit different. Anyone who registers on the site is assigned a bidder number. And based on your bidder number, you'll be assigned to one of these 3 teams. And if you donate directly online at extralife.org, participate/GJJ games, you'll get assigned to the blue team. So you can potentially get assigned to 2 teams. If you're in the auction, you'll get one of these 3 teams. And then if you also donate at Extra Life directly, you'll be on the blue team as well. So it's up to you if you want to split your donation. But then at the end of the auction, whichever team has raised the most money, plus points earned in events that I'll be holding throughout the course of the week, everybody on that team will get put into a raffle for some awesome prize bundles. So these are the 3 prize bundles that we have. Some really cool stuff in them. You can see the value of each of the bundles, what's in them. But you can donate directly to your team if you want. If you want your team to win. The types of events that we're going to have, we're going to do marble races. And I showed a sample of that on GJJ Games on Facebook earlier today. Got glow-in-the-dark marbles, so we'll be doing that. Table flipping contests. I also showed some table flipping contests. Showed a sample of that this afternoon. Board game challenges. So if anybody comes out tonight, if we get a game with 4 or more people going, then each person will play for one of the teams. We're also going to be doing Hot Wheels races. I showed a sample of that. I did those last year. And I also think I'm going to do air cannon contests. So I have an air cannon at home that I'll try and do that tonight, do one of those tonight, because I didn't demo that earlier. Those are pretty cool. And then the different teams will earn points through that will add to their score to potentially get them into the winning spot for the raffle, the auction. So that raffle drawing will happen next Saturday, the 13th in the evening. It'll be after the auction ends. But yeah, so there's all the information about how that works right here on the auction website. Go ahead and check that out. On the auction website, you can also see any items that are shipping free. We have a number of items. Some of them are digital items, or paper items that we can send out pretty cheap, or send you the code for the gift certificates. A couple others will be sent directly from the sponsor, like the mugs from DP Goodies and these games from Colossal Games and Thunderworks Games. They'll be sent directly from the publisher. Legacies from Brooks Fun Games. They're a local Chicago designer and publisher. His game is actually on the boat on the way from China, so that'll be sent out as soon as it gets here. Game Toppers has got a really cool board game map. It's actually a neighbor of mine that won that last year. Game Toppers donated one of these last year as well, and he loves it. He says it's a wonderful play map. He's got it on his board game table. And we've got some digital editions of board games from Temple Gates. And the Board Game Designer's Guide to Careers in the Industry from Joe Slack, the Board Game Designers design course. So yeah, if you don't want to pay for shipping, there's stuff for you. Let's see, what else do we have? Just one buy it now bundle. So if you want to get this bundle of games from Grey Gnome Games, you can buy it right now for $50. Its value is 85. Yeah, the auction, the bids are rolling in. So if you're interested in games from just a specific sponsor, you can look at sponsor items, find a sponsor that you're interested in. You can also go to our sponsor index, see everybody that has donated games, and go directly to the page of their stuff. So, like GPI, they are a board game manufacturer, so they've got titles from a bunch of different companies. So, Brass Birmingham, Wrinkle in Time. So lots of really cool stuff from them. You can also come in, you can see our Chicagoland area sponsors. So these are companies that are in the Chicagoland area that have sponsored us, since all our funds are going to support Ann and Robert H. Lurie Children's Hospital in Chicago. These companies are supporting their local Children's Miracle Network hospital. So these are all the titles that they've donated. Let's see. Also, the Game Crafter has been a sponsor of the auction for a number of years, and this year they partnered with a bunch of their designers, had their designers order games, and then they collected them, and then they delivered them to me, so that the designers didn't have to pay for shipping to get them to me. We got a lot of really cool games from designers from the Game Crafter community. So you can see all those right here, featured here. Cool stuff. Let's see. We also have local donations. So this auction started out with local gamers donating games to earn some store credit. So a win-win situation for everybody. They get to send some money to charity, and also get to earn some money for new games and clear off their shelves. So this is the local gamers donated these games, and some of them are even donated their games and said they wanted to go 100% to charity. So these are from just board gamers, just like you and me, that wanted their titles, just wanted everything to go to charity, whatever these raise. So definitely check these out and show them some love. There's some great games in it too. Look at that. Dulasaur Island. I don't know that that's even available anymore. Jim Peck cards. Gone. Dama. Some good titles. Lords of Waterdeep with the Scoundrels of Skullport expansion. Magnet. These were all donated by just gamers that were trying to clear off stuff from their shelves and wanted it all to go to charity. And other games can go, some of them are going 20% to charity, in which case the donor is getting 100% to in store credit, and some of them are going 50% to charity, in which case the donor is getting 50% store credit. Lots of games. So one other thing to mention about the auction, if you're getting tired of scrolling through everything all the time, go ahead and click the star for things that you really want. And then when you go to the auction catalog, you can say, show me items I've starred, and that'll show you just the items that you've marked as your favorites that you want to keep a track on. You can also go to the items that you bid on. I haven't bid on anything yet. I will later. Items without bids, so you can see things that people haven't bid on yet. Items you're outbid on. Items you're winning. So you can filter by quite a few different things. Also a number of different categories. So you want to see all the apparel. Got some awesome t-shirts from Meeple Shirts. Accessories, we've got some really cool stuff from Meeple Source, Geeky Goodies, BoardGameTables.com, Meeple Shirts, Cryptozoic. They sent a whole bunch of Cryptkins. I don't know what's in the box. You got to buy it to find out. So lots of really cool stuff in the auction. Okay, let's stop sharing. Go back. Okay, let's switch to that. So okay. Let's see, what should we do next? We've got still got 2.5 hours before I take my first break. Just like last year, if I get donations on the Extra Life website, which I have, looks like my dad made a donation, so thank you, Dad. That means I get to add stuff to my beard. So, favorite part of the night, right? Here. Just for my dad, I will add a purple star or pink star to my beard. There we go. So that is for the first donation for the night, which means, which also means right now the orange team, or the blue team is winning for the Great Meeple Race. Okay. So we are up to $484 raised so far. That is pretty good. So let's see. How about I'll show off another one and get my games. So this is my roll and write game with a polyhedral set of dice. It's called Polyhedral Potions. Let's go ahead and use blue this time. So let's see. I think I can probably lower this camera a little bit more.
You can all damage it on that. I'm probably not. This can get there. Yes. I don't think this does too.
What was that?
But so.
You know what? I wonder if we can do this.
Okay. So, probably not aircraft. But when covered,
I am right-handed, so that is not. But how about if we do that? There we go. That'll work. So the way the game works is we'll roll the dice, put them on the chart so that you can see what is where. The chart is optional, but I find that it really helps with seeing what dice are what. It's a little bit more required in the solo game because the top and bottom rows do have some meaning. But I'll just go ahead and start and show you what you're going to do. But essentially, you are taking the dice that you roll and collecting them as ingredients and making potions or poisons with them. And then once you do, that will either be a distillation or a fulminant. So the distillations have to decrease in value when you put them in these columns. The fulminants have to increase in value when you put them in that track. When you complete one of these rows or complete a row for the dice, then you earn a star. Or if you complete all 6 poisons, you complete a star, and that ends the game. So I'll just go ahead and start and show you how it works, and I'll talk through some of the additional rules as we go along. So we got a D4 there. Now the D20 is a 16, D6 is a 3, D8 is a 7. So there are 2 D10s. One's a percentile dice, and the other is just a standard D10. These, you ignore the zeros at the end, so that's a 1 and 7 and 3 and so on. And the double zeros are either a 10 or a 0. It's your choice. And on the D12, we have a 7. So now on your turn, you choose any 2 dice and try and add them up together to make a value. So I am going to, if I want to work on fulminants, I want to start low. Or if I want to start on distillations, I kind of want something high. So I'm actually going to start on the distillations because I've got a 16 here, which is pretty high. So I'm going to take a 16 on the D20 and see, one of the 7s is the next highest. Do I want the D12 or the D8? I think I'm going to go for the D12. So that's a 16 and a 7 for a 23. So I will go ahead and put a 23 here. I could have put it on the top row of any one of these columns. The 23 is pretty high, so I'm going to put it there. And that's my turn. Now, in a multiplayer game, normally the next person would draft 2 more dice. But in the solo game, what is going to happen is the imaginary opponent is going to take the highest value, which is a 7, and the lowest value, which is a 1. And those are going to be out, and now it's my turn. So I've got a 3 and 2 4s to work with. So I can get an 8 or a 7 or a 7 there. One thing I forgot to do when I put that 23 there, you also mark the 23 in the potions, and I use the D20 and the D12. So I mark those two boxes there. And that's how you work towards the end. When you reach a box that has a little bonus icon underneath it, you'll get that bonus. And they are listed here. So I will go over what they do as I use them. But I think I'm going to take this 4 as opposed to that 4. The 4 on the D10 is important because that gets you to essentially an additional turn. But the 4 on the D4 is good too, because that gets me over here, which gives me the ability to subtract the dice instead of adding them. So I'm going to go ahead and take the 3 and the 4. And so we'll mark off the D6 and the D4. And that's a 7. So we'll put a X in the 7. And I think I'm going to start on my full minutes. Start with a 7. That's a little bit high to start with. So now, what happens when the other player can only draft 1? Well, in a multiplayer game, the player would draft that 1 and then roll everything else and draft a second one, trying to match with their first one. In the solo game, that will get removed, and you look at, was it in this top row with the small dice or the bottom row with the big dice? In this case, it's in the bottom row with the bigger dice. So that is counted as the high value, which means now when I roll all 6 of these dice, the lowest value is going to get removed. So let's put these all out. And in this case, it's going to be the D8 that gets removed as the lowest value. So if it had been something in here that had been removed, or that had been the last one left, it would be considered the lowest value, which means the highest value would be removed. So even if it was like the 7 on the D8 was the only thing left and everything else was less than a 7, still the highest value after the reroll would get removed. So that'll probably come up in this game, and I'll show it off when it happens. So those are the AI removed these. So I get to choose. What was it? That's what the AI. Got a 25, but that's higher than my 23. I could do another 7, but I couldn't put it on the full minutes because those have to increase. They can't be the same. But it would earn me a poison, and poison was worth 2 points at the end of the game. I could do a 15 and a 6 for a 21. I think I'm going to do that. So there's a 15 and a 6. So I used the D20 and a D10 for a 21. And we'll put that here and put 21. So now the AI is going to take the highest value and the lowest value, which is going to leave me with the D4 of value 4. We'll roll again. Put these out where they go. Okay. So now I have something that I need to pair something with my 4. Now remember, that can be a 0 or a 10. I also have earned an ability on the 20s, and that is a plus or minus 1 or 2. So I could do the 4 and do this. Oops. For a 5, 6, 7, and use that ability to make it an 8 and put it there. But 8 is on the next track over, so I can't get up to the 20 or 22, can I? I could do 4 5, 6 to get the 6 over here. But I can't put the 6 in the fulminates. It would have to go in the distillations, and that's pretty low. But you know what? I am going to do that. I'm going to do that and get a 6. And that is the D8 and the D4. And we'll mark off the 6. And I do want to get a 5 and a 4. So I'm going to put 6 here so I can put the 5 and the 4 below it. Okay, now the AI is going to take the highest, which is when it's looking at this always counts as a 10 for the AI. So this is a 10 and this is a 10. And to break a tie, it's going to use the highest die in that. So the D20 is a bigger die than the D10. So the AI is going to take that 10 and then the lowest, which is the D12, which leaves me with that's a 10 or a 0. And I still have my plus or minus 1 or 2. So I could take both of these and that would count this as a 0, so that would be 7, but then minus 2 and make this a 5. So I'll cross that off and put a 5 here. And that'll work. And now the AI is left with a 6. And since it was in the top row, that's counted as a low die. So that means the highest die in the reroll is what gets taken out, even if the high die is less than a 6. So we got 8, 5, 7, 11, 1, and a 5. So the highest die is that, so that gets removed. So that's what the AI pulled out. There we go. Okay, and I did earn a subtract there, so 6, 5. I do want to try and get that 4. So let's do a 5 and a 1. So that is the D4 and the D8 and a 5 and a 1. And I will do a subtract to get the 4. And that gives me my first star. And we'll put the 4 here. And I finished that off. So that's good. And now the AI is going to take the highest and the lowest and leave me with a 7 on the D10. 2, 9. Ooh, big number on the D20. That would be a 24, which is too high for there, but I could start another column down. Or I could do a 16, which isn't that bad there, and that's way over there. And I want to kind of be looking over here where I can complete those rows too. Because in a solo game, for every potion or poison that you make, basically every turn you have, every turn you take less than 12, you get 10 bonus points. But every turn you take greater than 12, you lose 10 points at the end of the game. So you want to try and get your 3 stars or more as quick as you can. But knowing that if you go past 12 turns, you're going to be losing 10 points for every turn. So let's see. If we do the 7, we could do. Let's do that. Let's do 8, 9. Oh, I don't really like any of my options there. Let me get that. I do have a reroll on my 8. My D8s. But I'm also keeping these fairly even, which isn't good. I want to be working towards a star on those. Okay, we'll try and work towards that plus or minus 2. So we'll take it as a 24 up here. Oh no, I don't want to do that. That's going to be really hard to get that rub. Okay, we'll just do this. We'll make that a 10. So that's the D4 and the D10. And we'll go ahead and put the 10 down here. Highest and lowest go to the AI, which leaves me with a 14 or an 18. I think I'll take the 18. So that is a D10 and a D12. And 18 here, not really what I wanted, but we'll put the 18 on there. Okay, which means the AI has a 5, and that is considered a low value. It was in the top row. 1, 7, 3, 1, 12, oops, and 6. So this was a low value, so the highest value gets pulled out. That's 12. And now I get to go. I've got my 10 here. And now I get my 8s. And 8s and 9s. 2s. 4s. We got a 4. Okay, I guess we will go for an 8. So we'll take the D8 and we'll take the D12. That'll give me a refresh pool. That might be useful. So the refresh pool ability lets you just take all the dice and reroll them, so you're drafting from 7. And the D8, and that is an 8. And I can't put it there, so I'm going to go ahead and put it over here. But do I want to put it up there, or down here, or here? I think I'll put it here. Leave those 2 columns open, see what happens with them. Okay, highest and lowest go to the AI, and I am stuck with a 3 on a D4. See what I get to pair that with. Okay. I do have a subtract ability. I could refresh the whole pool if I wanted to. 10. Could go for a 4. I've already got a 4. I could get my 9 that I need in here. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, we'll do the D4 and the D6 for a 9. That. And I can't put it in any of those places, so I got to put it here or here. Let's go ahead here. Highest and lowest get pulled out. And now I have 14 or a 16 I do have a subtract, so I could do a 9, or I mean a 2. 9 minus 7. Give me that. I have a reroll. I'm going to use my refresh the pool, because I don't like any of my options. This will give me 7 dice to choose from. Ooh, there's a 19. I could get my 22 that I've been trying, that I need up here. I think I'll do that. And that is a D20 and the D6. And I am really not working to the end of any of these except for the D4. So that's got my 22. I marked it. We'll put that back up here. Now, if I can get a 20, I'll complete that row. I need a 20 and an 11. And I've already used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've used 11 dice, so 1 more is my break even, which means it's going to be tricky for me to get there. However, because right now, I'm going to take those 2, the 9 and the 4. The AI would, but I do have a take a second turn. I think I am going to use that. I'm going to use that and watch what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to use my, take another turn, draft again, and I'm going to draft that and that. And that's a 13, which doesn't really help me get a star. I want to try and make that an 11. So 13 minus 2 would work, but I don't have that bonus anymore. I could re-roll and hope, or I could flip, but that'll turn that into a 0 or a 10, is on the opposite side of that, which won't help me. That'll make it 14 or 4. However, the flip a die with the D4, it lets you choose whatever value you want. So I am going to 9, 10, 11. So that will give me my 11, which is a star. It uses the D4, which fills that row, which is a star. And now I have to put an 11 somewhere. So this is the last turn, essentially, and then I will score. So I could put it here. You score points for the last box that's visible. So if I go here, it will change that from 3 to 6, which is a 3-point gain. If I go here, it changes it from a 2 to a 5, a 3-point gain. Same here, 2 to 5, 3-point. So it looks like I'm earning 3 points regardless of where I put it. So I'll just go ahead and put it down here on the next track. There's my 11. And that ends the game. I've earned my 3 stars. So sometimes if you save up that extra turn towards the end and stuff, you can sometimes get 4 or even 5 stars. I think 5 is the most I've gotten. I don't know that I've gotten 6 before, but it's possible to get a whole bunch of stars right at the end there. And boost your score. But let's see how well I did. Okay, so okay, so in the distillations, I got 15, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. In the fulminates, I didn't really focus on those, so I only got 6. I did not get any poisons, So 0. And stars, I got 3 stars. So that's 30 points. Each star is worth 10 points. So that's 30, 59, 65. So 65. But then I got to count up how many actual turns I took. Remember, if I used 12, less than 12, I get 10 points for each turn less than 12. If I did more than 12, I get 10 points. I lose 10 points. And if I did exactly 12, then it's a break even. So, and I think I did exactly 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 65 is my score. And we can double check and make sure I didn't forget to put anything there, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then there should be 24 things marked up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I forgot to mark my, what was it? What I just used, the D10 that I used for my last die. I was focused on the 4. So that is my score, a 65, which is not a great score, but it's a respectable score. So that is Polyhedral Potions. That is one of my new polyhedral dice games. I have several of them that use just a set of polyhedral dice, and then a few minimal other components. So I also have a racing game. I have a game that uses just the polyhedral dice. And I've got a game that uses 18 cards in the polyhedral dice, which is similar to this one. I can go ahead and show you this one. This is called Polyhedral Perils. It's a very simple press your luck dice game that uses nothing more than a set of polyhedral dice. You can play it with multiple players, or you can play it solo. So I'll go ahead and show you the solo move. So to start out, you take the D4 and you roll it, and you take the percentile die and you set that to a level. Let's start at level 2. And the object is to climb your way out of the dungeon. Climb up to level 10. And so this indicates the level of the dungeon that you're in, level 2 or 20, and you got to climb up to 10 or 100, however you want to consider it. But that's level 2. And this is the monster that I have to fight in level 2. It's a strength 2 monster, so I have to defeat that by rolling these dice one at a time. So you can choose whichever die you want. I think I can beat a 2 on my D6. So we'll go ahead and I did. So I defeated that monster. So that monster will go into my dice pool. And now the 4 is my new monster to defeat. And I move up a level. So I'm now on level 3. And you repeat. So level 4, or a strength 4 monster, I have to decide what I think I can beat it with. So it's going to be pretty hard to defeat it with a D4, since I'd have to roll 5. So I'm going to put that off to the side. I'm going to try with my D8 and see how I do. And I rolled a 4. So I didn't beat it. I tied it. Which means now I have to add another die. We'll go ahead and add the D4, because I'm going to get at least a 1 to defeat it. And I got a 2. So I defeated the strength 4 monster. I move up to level 4. And now I have a strength 6 monster to fight. And I have fewer dice to do it in, because I've got 2 dice locked up in the monster. So I have to beat a 6. Let's go ahead with my D12. So I've got 50-50 chance. Well, less than 50-50 chance of beating it. And I did not. I only got a 2. So now I need to roll at least a 5. Let's throw in my D10. And there we go. My strength 8 monster beat, or strength 8 fighter beat the strength 6 monster. So those come out. I am now up to level 5. And now I have a strength 8 monster to fight. And it's got 2 of my bigger dice, too, that it's using. So in a multiplayer game, you can choose to stop rolling at any time, and then you would score the points that are shown here. So in this case, you don't advance. So in this case, I would have scored 8 plus 4. I would have scored 12 points. And the first player to 50 points wins. In a solo game, in a multiplayer game, if you choose to quit, you get those points. If you choose to go on and you can't defeat the monster, you only get the points for the level of dungeon that you succeed, yet you advance to, and you don't get the points for the monster. In a solo game, you keep going until you either escape or die. If you lose against a monster, you fall back 1 or more levels, and I'll show you how that works if I lose. But right now, I have a strength 8 monster to defeat. These dice are going to be kind of pointless if I'm trying to defeat it in 1 die. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out the big guns, the broadsword, the D20. Oops. Level 5. And that is typical. So I rolled a 1. My broadsword broke. So let's see. I still need to roll 8 more in order to defeat an strength 8 monsters. We'll pull out the D8. I'm up to 5. There we go. The D6 did it. So that's 10, 11 against the strength 8 monster. Which, at least I defeated it. But now I've got 3 dice locked up in the monster. I'm now on level 6. Okay. That's a strength 11 monster. And I've got a D12, a D10, and a D4. I might be getting injured this round. We'll see. Yeah, especially if I roll 3s. There's 9. I got to get 11, which means I need to get at least 12, which means I need to roll 3 or 4 on this. I got a 50% chance of defeating this monster. And I did not. So that's a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 against an 11. I got defeated. So in a solo game, when you get defeated, you look at the number that you're at, and you go to the next lowest number that is adjacent. So I'm at level 6, so I could drop to level 2, 4, 1, or 9, but 9 is not lower. The next lowest number is the 4. So I dropped from level 6 to level 4. And that's how I got injured. And now I still have to defeat a strength 10 monster. But at least I got these dice back. But I got to start with the 20 because I can't defeat those with just the D8. There we go. I got a 12. So defeated the strength 10 monster with a 12. Okay. Now I got a 12. And we'll start with the D12 and 1. Of course. A 3. Yeah, I am doing stellar. And a 2. We've got 5. 6, 7, 8. I cannot defeat it. Okay. So I did not defeat that monster. So now I can go to level 0, but that would kill me. Or level 7, that I can't go up. Can't go up to 6, so I am down to level 1. So I wouldn't have rolled that last die because I couldn't have defeated it with it. So I have a strength 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 monster to defeat. Let's hope I do well. A 5. I have to roll a 4. And I did not. Yeah, there's nothing less than the 1. I died. So that is Polyhedral Perils for the solo player. And I died in it. Like I said, with the multiplayer, it's more press your luck. You can choose to quit at any time and score the points that you have, or press on to try and score more points by defeating stronger monsters. And that is Polyhedral Perils. One of my other polyhedral dice games, and it only needs a set of dice and maybe something to keep score. Okay, let's see. Let's go see how the auction. Share my screen again. Okay, there we go. There we go. And here is the auction. Okay, let's see. Maybe about, let's see, recent days. Wow. Lots of bids have been coming in over $500. That's great. Okay. Anybody donated anything to the Great Meeple Race yet? That doesn't look like it. Oh, yeah. Pink Team Pink has got $5. Orange team doesn't have anything. Green team doesn't have anything. Blue team does have $25. Well, I guess, yeah, because it was 7:36. This is Pacific time, I believe. I don't know why it's showing in Pacific time. Yeah, anything donated during the Extra Life charity auction, anything donated on Extra Life will earn the blue team points. So the blue team is up to 25. And pink is at 5. That's it. So awesome. Pink team is leading on the auction site. The blue team is in the lead overall. 7 days, 2 hours left. Yeah, look at this. We got a whole set of Gloomhaven, including a bin here that has all of the maps and manuals and everything all organized and cataloged, so that gets sent. It's got the Meeple Realty insert, organize everything. It's a little messy from getting shipped, but all the pieces are there. Everything is there. So, what else do we have? Oh, this is another really cool donation somebody sent. This is the Dark Legion pledge from Modifus Entertainment for Siege of the Citadel. So it's got everything is in there. It's valued at $150. That was the Kickstarter price, I believe, since it is not. Yeah, it's reselling in the aftermarket for $275 to $350. And Modifus Entertainment valued it at $595. So this is right now it's going for $1. So go ahead and bid on that because $1 is a steal. I hope Rebecca wins it, but I also hope it goes up more because it's gonna raise hopefully a lot of money for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. One other cool thing on here, let's go. I think it's in the about. We've got donation jars all around town here in DeKalb, and also at There's Fun Store in Elgin. We've got one here at Affinity for Gaming, which is where I'm playing games tonight. And so far, I have raised almost $800 this year. Let's see. I think I'm going to open that up in a new tab. There we go. I've got my spreadsheet where I keep track of everything that has been donated. So so far for 2021, we have raised $537.90 just from the donation jars that I have scattered all around town. So if you're in DeKalb and you see one of those donation jars, go ahead and throw. Let's see where. Go ahead and throw some change into it because it's pretty great. I'll be going out probably this week after the auction to pick up whatever is in these. I haven't picked up since beginning of October from these places. So we'll see what's there. Let's see. What else do I have here? I got lots of them. Got our fundraising milestones. So this is where we're at. So last year we raised $39.50 total in the Extra Life. That includes stuff that we raised in the auction, plus stuff that was donated online, and the donation jars that we had out last year. So we raised $39.50. So hopefully we will break that. The way things are going this year, I think we're gonna smash it. Our goal this year is $4,500. If we get that, that will equal what we got last year after the fees. So we do have some fees that come out of this for credit card payments and stuff like that. So about $4,500 should be about the same after fees as what we raised last year. So that's our goal. But I think we're going to smash that this year. So I'm hoping that we can double that amount. And actually, I've got a feeling that we are going to completely smash that. Look at the admin here for the auction. I'll show this off. This is kind of neat. We got all our items. We got some summary here. Let's look at the dashboard. So the value of all the items that have been donated, $19,811. And like I said, I have a box sitting at home from Chelsea with the charity board gamer. So this will probably top $20,000 in value for all the items. So there are 510 items to bid on. And again, some of those are bundles. Some of them are multiple copies in one listing. So there's 510 listings, but it comes out to almost 700 items and probably more than that once I open that box from the charity board. So yeah, it's going to be amazing this year. Okay. Let's see. It is 9 o'clock, so I got 2 hours left of streaming here before I take a break. So let's go ahead and stop sharing the screen. what should I pull out next? So you've seen 8-Minute Empire sitting here. So this does not have an official solo mode, but that doesn't stop me from playing it solo. Move this up a little bit. Talking too much. So I did write a solo mode for 8-Minute Empire, and you can find it on Board Game Geek. It has gotten pretty high praise from the people that have played it. So this is a fun little game from Red Raven Games. They are also a sponsor of the auction. They've got a copy of my favorite game from 2020 in there in the auction. It is Rome. But 8-Minute Empire is a quick, fun area control battle war game. Officially for 2 to 5 players. Let's see. Yeah, 2 to 5 players. It says it plays in 8 minutes or so. Emphasis on the or so. It's actually closer to about a 20-minute game or so, 20 to 30-minute game. But I will show you how I play it solo. So let's.
Yeah, that's
See that in the background there. There we go. Okay, so in the solo game, you pick a color for yourself. I'll go ahead and pick yellow. And then you pick a color for your opponent. And I will pick white for the AI. So the other ones can go back in the box. And you choose a side of the board. It doesn't really matter. They are about the same, but let's see. I think I said one of the sides was harder, a little bit harder than. Let's see. Yeah, map 2 is slightly more challenging than map 1. So I'll go ahead and show map 1 since that's what I have out. So to start out with setup, the AI's pieces. My pieces. All right. Okay. Here, gold. Okay. You start out with 11 gold. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Start out with 11 gold. The AI doesn't use gold, so the rest of these back in the bag. There we go. Okay. You start with 3 of your armies in the start region. And then you set up the AI. So you place 2 of the AI armies in the start region and place 1 AI army in every other region on the starting continent. So the AI is already all spread out. This is map 1. Map 2 has slightly different rules for setting it up, but they're very similar. Then you place one AI city on the regions on the other continents that have these little triangles on them. So there are 3 of them, which is perfect because there are 3 city tokens. Let's see. And then you can randomly place goods tokens on the 3 regions with AI cities, as well as the 3 regions not connected to the starting continent by a water route. So you'll have 3 unplaced goods tokens. So we'll go ahead and do that. Show that. So this is connected to a water route. We don't put it there. We don't put it there. There. That is not a separate region. Nope, not there, because that's connected by water route, and that's connected by water route. Let's see, did I miss a spot? It says you should have 3 unplaced goods tokens, but I've got 4. So did I miss a location? Maybe I have a typo in that. Oh, this one. This is not connected to the main continent. So there's our 3 unplaced. We'll go ahead and put those back. Okay. Map 2 is mostly the same, but it's a slightly different setup. And then if you want to do a setup variant, you can randomly place the cities, army cities and tokens, goods tokens on the map instead of in these specific places. But this is my setup. So gameplay is just like in a standard game for you. Some of these, I think, have to get pulled out. Maybe not. I thought there were ones that had to be pulled out in the 2. Let's see. You can check the regular rules.
So turn 2.
Little number 5 in the top right corner. There's 1. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Okay. There we go. So those are only used in a 5-player. How you doing? Okay. I was hoping people would show up to play games, but nobody has yet. They said either today or tomorrow, so okay. I'll be here again tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, come on out. Come play games. Let's see. Go. See the board better that way. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Back there, you can see it. Okay. So gameplay is pretty much the same on your turn. You take the first turn. and do pretty much anything. Play like you were normally going to play. So, in 8-Minute Empire, you draft one of the cards from up here. You purchase it, and it costs gold according to this chart. So this is free. Costs 1 gold, 1, 2, 2, and 3. So the ones to the left are cheap. In the solo game, any gold that you spend goes to the AI. So those are going to be extra points for it at the end of it. Then on the AI's turn, it simply takes the left 2 cards in the line. So if I take that one, it's going to take these 2. If I take that one, it's going to take these 2, and so on. And then everything slides down and you refill. So at the end of the game, it ends after the AI's turn when you've taken your 10th card. So you'll end up with 10 cards. The AI ends up with 20. There's a couple of cards left in the deck at the bottom. And then you score your points as usual, according to the game, which is, if I recall, here we go. 1 victory point for each region on the map you control. 1 victory point for each continent you control. And then victory points for your sets of goods that you have, based on the shields that are shown. Those are the shields. The AI is going to score points a little bit different. So the AI is going to score points for their goods, just like you will. It's also going to score an extra point for each wild card. Their wild cards are not added to goods. You can add yours to goods as you deem appropriate. They get 1 point for each continent controlled, 1 point for each region it controls with a city. So it's going to score points for these 3 cities that it has, unless you take out that city. And then other regions occupied by the AI are only to block you from controlling regions. So it doesn't get points for those regions that it controls. And then if there's a tie, you win if you have more gold remaining than what you paid the AI. So essentially, whoever has more gold at the end wins in the tie. You also gain 1 point for each region on the starting continent that the AI does not control. That I wrote in. So, okay. So that is the solo variant of 8-Minute Empire. So the way the game is played, when I draft one of these cards, it gives me that resource and also the ability that is shown on here. So that ability means I get to destroy an army and place a new army on a board. So I can only place armies. You can only place armies in the start area or where you have a city. And since I don't have a city out yet, I can only place it at the start. This one lets me place 2 pieces, but it's a wild. This lets me move 2 units, place 3, place 2, move 2 units, and it may be over water. So let's go ahead and start. I am going to. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and take the wild. It gets me to add 2 points, 2 units to the board. Okay. And then the AI is going to take the left 2 cards and just move them over. Okay. And everything slides down. And 3 new cards come out. Okay. And now I get to go again. You can add 3, add 2, move 2, move 4. Oh, I forgot. I was supposed to have paid the AI for the card. And in this case, I think I want to start mobilizing. The AI is not going to take that, so I will get that next time. So maybe I should fill up my. I'll go ahead and take a free card and add 3 more armies to that space, which means the AI is going to take those 2. And that was a diamond. That is pretty valuable.
The end of the movement.
Okay, now I am going to mobilize. So I'm going to go ahead and take that carrot and move 4 units. So you can move 1 unit 4 spaces, or you can move 4 units 1 space, or any combination. I am going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm just going to take those 2. Okay, that lets me build a city. Nothing that lets me move across water. So I'll go ahead and take this. It adds to my carrots, and that lets me move 4 more again. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to take those 2.
Right. It's like it. Mine's 2 hits.
That lets me destroy an opponent's unit or build a city. I really want to wait till I build a city until I'm across somewhere, but there is no movement across water yet.
It's like a barrier.
Don't have any trees, so that doesn't help. I could pay a gold to get that. I'll go ahead and do that. Pay a gold to get that one. That adds to my carrots, and I get to add 3 more units out. Yeah, I was going to take those.
We got on that baby.
1, 2, 3. Okay, let's see. Still, there, finally, I'll get to move across water. So, let's see. Maybe I can get in place for that. I can move 5 and add to my carrots. I do that. So let's move 5. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And
So we're just doing shooting.
5. Move down. Okay, and I takes those 2 and we move down.
So we're gonna do the first one. There.
Okay. I want that wild. I'm going to pay 1 to the AI to get that wild. And that lets me move 2 units and they can be across water. So we're going to move that. And let's see. I'm collecting anvils and carrots. So let's move both of those across. Oh, and the AI is going to get my double carrots. That's okay. I got a wild. Okay. Ooh, there's a diamond. Diamonds are worth 1 point each. Oh, but look at all those anvils coming up. I will go ahead and take the diamond. Let me put 2 units out. AI is going to get both. Ooh, although it's an anvil and a city. Oh, is it worth a point? Although I could add my wilds to that and get 3 points. How many diamonds does the AI have? Only 1. So there's a few more out there. So you know what? I'm not going to take that. I'm going to pay 1 to the AI to get my city. I want to put a city. There we go. Now when I add units, I can add them over here and start spreading across that continent too. Okay, so these are both going to go to the AI. Okay. It'll let me move across water. I think I want that. Okay, I can move 3 across water. Let's move all 3 of them to there. Right, because so he dies. Right, wow. Okay. None of those were. I don't have any trees. I will then move 2 more across water. So this one lets me add 3 or move to it. And every little arm. I'm gonna go ahead and take that one. I have to pay again for it. And I am going to, I cannot add 3, I don't have 3, so I'm gonna move 1, 2, and move 3, and we'll capture that anvil. So now I've got 1 continent controlled, which is good. No, but I gave a wild card to the AI. So how many cards do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was it. That was the end of the game. So there's the extra diamonds. There they are at the end. I didn't get them. Okay. Well, that is the end of the game. So now we score up points. So I earned. So let's do the goods first. Okay. So you can only add wilds to goods that you actually have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 anvils. Okay. 6, 7. That might be the best way to go. Or 1, 2, 3, 4 carrots. It gets me 1 point versus 2, 4, 6. Yes. That would be 3 and 2. Versus, yeah, it's better to have them there. Okay. So for resources, that gives me 7 anvils, which is 5 points. And 4 carrots is only 1 point. So that's 5, 6. One easy way to keep score is by taking another color. There's 5, 6 for me. And then each region I control is 1 point. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's another 5, 6, 7. Each continent I control is 1. I control 1, 2 continents. It's another 2 points. And then each 1 point for each region on the starting continent that the AI does not control. So it does not control 1, 2, 3. So I get 3 more points. Okay, 1, 2, 4, 5. Okay, so I got 18 points. So now let's score the AI. We'll use the green tokens to keep score for the AI. Okay. Gotta sort their resources.
And starting to realize that they could.
Okay. So, scoring for the AI, it's 1 point for each wild. So there's 1. Points for resources. So it has 2 diamonds. So that is another 2 points. Carrots, it's got 1, 2, 3. So that's another point.
Okay.
4. So that's a double carrot. But it doesn't push up. So that's got 1 point. Trees. We got a lot of trees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trees. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Anvils, they've got 3. We don't control any anvil tokens. So that's 1 more point. And coal, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 coal, which is more than enough. 3, 4, 5, 6 to get the 5 points there. Okay, so that's what scored in resources. 1 point for each continent controlled. They control the starting continent. That is it. Oh, and they control that one too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1 point for each region it controls with a city. So it controls 2 regions with cities. 1, 2. So that is it, which means the AI got 19 points and I got 18, and I lost again. So I'm not doing too well tonight. I've played 4 games, lost 3 of them, and 1 was just for high score. So I'm not doing too well with my solo games. but they're fun. That's what counts, right? Okay, let's see. There are all the bad. Okay. Cards were in here. Let's turn those backwards. I guess I play it again tonight. Because I enjoy this one. It's quick, it's fun, it's easy. Resource tokens going here.
Yes. Unmodified equal of 6.
Okay. And if it would have ended in a tie, I would have lost the tiebreaker too, because I had 5 coins left and I paid 6. So, yeah, I did not do too well, I think. But I wasn't thinking about what the AI was collecting. Pay attention to what the AI is collecting. Maybe try and move a little bit more. Spread out. Control a few more regions. Seem to have a baggie that was up there.
All right. I'm going to shoot at that bug. So it's funny. It's so disgusting. Okay. Hit you on one. Five. Okay. D6 damage.
Okay. Got all the pieces. Yep. Everything back in the box.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let's see. Wasn't planning on doing this many solo games.
So,
Well, at the store.
Yeah.
Let's see. Nobody is watching right now. Check a few things. Hour and 20 minutes left before I take a break.
But I'm going to be ready to start. We are going to do tactical air control. So you wonder what these are the values, the other specific units, all about the world. Very good. So, pretty cool. We're going to do that. And the Valkyries are going to do missile pods.
Okay, we're up to $582 raised in the auction.
Okay. So this is
Okay, let's see. What we have over here. There's my wagon of games. We have that this sold. Cascadia plays solo, but I'm going to show off rolling seats. Okay. Let's see. What map should we use? Let's try.
another one.
Let's try this one. The big continent in the middle.
Oh, yes. Last. This. All right, so it didn't.
There we go.
You're gonna hold.
You know what? I need something to write on. This will work.
Turn to me. Right. Wait. Oh, sniper. Nice. 2 hits. Ooh. There was no mutual. You would have done. Yeah, I
Okay,
know.
that's a reference card. I don't need that, but I'll keep it out.
I think I know, but I've been going.
So we'll set this up. We get 15 of these. 1, 2, 3.
So now it's your. I don't want to use.
15 smooth sailing cards. We are going to play. I'll show off the events. So not all the events are good for solo play. I'm still working out some of the events for solo play, but some of them will. So we need to add 4 of these or 5 of these. I'm sorry, to the deck. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the 5 potential event IDs that can come out. Here are the event cards. That one will work with solo. That one will work. That one will sort of work. That one should work. That should work. That one's not really good for solo.
Oh, we didn't
Works.
establish. There,
Works.
I don't know which one there.
That one doesn't.
Well,
Works.
but I would say
That one doesn't.
oh, okay.
That one doesn't.
And you know what? That's fine with me.
That one doesn't.
Traders offer once.
That does. And that does. Okay. Most of them look like they'll work with a solo. So that's good. I hadn't really considered these for solo. I don't know what's going to come up. I'm here. See them? Okay, and then these are all the possible adventures that you can encounter. So we've got some things like my crowd sale exclusives, some things that are not in the base game, they're in the expansions, but you know, we got tons of stuff here.
You have to read the first. Oh, you get. Yeah, because as far as I'm
It looks like we got some old cards mixed in with the new cards.
oh, okay.
But they changed it.
That shouldn't matter. I would just have to clean these up. Got them mixed up at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's two thunderstorms. That's okay. Doesn't matter. They all work the same. It's just some of the graphic design that got updated. Okay, we'll add 15 of these. Okay, and now we shuffle it back. This is building the adventure deck. So you get 15 smooth sailing cards, 15 adventures, and if you play with the events, which is an expansion I am working on and testing, that is not available on the Game Crafter, but it will hopefully be available if and when this game goes to Kickstarter, because I signed it with Nuts Publishing. So hopefully when it goes to Kickstarter with them, the events will be part of that Kickstarter. But we'll see. It will be up to them what they want to include and what they want to save for future and stuff. But I can show you how this works because I'm pretty excited about it. It's pretty. Okay, there is the adventure deck. And now to start the game, we need to set two. We need to start with two adventures on the map. So we will start with the Maelstrom and Shipwreck Cove. And I'm going to use colored pencils because they're just awesome in its own. Okay, so in a solo game, you have to put Shipwreck Cove at the intersection of P and 4, which it can go there. And just one of those has to intersect at that spot. If I couldn't put it at that P or 4, then you look at where the anchor is. It's in 4. So I'd have to put it as close to space 4, row 4. I'd have to stay in row 4 and put it as close to P as possible. So like if this island came out to here, I would have to put it here because that's the closest spot to it. But I can put it in P4. So I'm going to have some rocks here. And then diagonal 1. So I could put it here, or here, or here. Can't put it here because that's on land. We'll go ahead and put it up here. That seems kind of out of the way, but who knows where I'll be sailing. And then the maelstrom at S and 11. But when you place these, if it's something that's passed, it has to go. The rocks are the ones that you pass. That has to go in that row and column. This just has to go in the row or the column. So it has to just go in S or 11. And it's a storm. We'll go ahead and we'll keep it in column 11. We'll put the storm right here. That is the maelstrom. So right out there. Okay, so that is the setup. Now I choose a home port. So one of the hexagons on the board is a home port. I will choose as my home port. I could choose this one, but that's going to be hard to sail out of. So I'm going to actually choose this one as my home port. And you just got to mark it some way. I found that filling in the space around it is good. And then put your ship somewhere. And that's the only spot I can put my ship, because that one's kind of tucked in the water. And we are set up and good to go. So the first thing that happens every round is you draw a new adventure. In this case, it's the Mel. Pull a different one if I get a double. Okay, Stingray Swift. Well, that's actually one from the old game. So the update from the old version to the new version is the cards that you keep and don't pass. Used to say keep and have arrows, but now they just say do not pass in real small letters. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. I guess technically this was from the old game too, but it's not a duplicate. Okay, so Stingray Swift is yellow, and it has to go a K or 6. There's K or 6. My ship is there. We'll put it here. 6. So it's got it. One of the spaces has to be in 6. So we'll put it right here. And then it goes. I could rotate it however I want, rotate or flip them. But I'm going to hopefully have that help me push me down. Okay, and now we roll the dice. And put them on the numbers that they are indicated. And now I have my choice to either explore, and the explore die is a 5, which will give me 3 gold and 1 story, or I can sail with a south wind or a southeast wind. But sailing is not going to help right now, So I'm going to go ahead and take the explore. We'll go ahead and mark an X in round 1. I can explore adjacent to me, which is there. It's the only spot I can explore. But I do get 3 gold. 1, 2, 3. And 1 story. Got my story point there. And let's see. Oh, I didn't name the captain of my ship. Let's see. We'll be the Captain Skullet. And we will be on the ship, the 24-hour marathon. There we go. Captain Skullet. That's what my friend sometimes call that. Okay. So one thing about these maps that's new, these are in some of the expansions. Some of the spaces on land have bonuses. So if you explore in those places, you earn that bonus. So if I would have started here, I could have potentially explored 3 times right off the bat and got some bonuses. But then, like I said, it would have been hard to sail out of that to that river. So I'm hoping that maybe later in the game I will have more movement and stuff, and I'll be able to sail in that with a little bit better. But that is the end of round 1. So round 2 starts with a new card, smooth sailing, and roll the dice. 8, 3, 6, and 2. We got a north wind this time. Still that southeast wind, that's not really helping. But I think I'll take the north. So I have 3 movement points, and I do have 3 provisions. So I am going to sail. Let's try and go up over this. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3. And we'll go ahead and stop there. So the way I calculated that is I chose the north wind. So sailing north costs 1 movement point. And sailing to the northeast costs 2 movement points. So my ship starts with 3. I moved 1, 2, 3. I could have kept going by spending 1 provision. Every provision I spend is 1 extra movement point. So if I wanted to sail up to here, I could have spent 2 provisions to go there. But I'm happy here. I've got 2 places I can explore. 1 that'll give me a bonus gold if I do. So I sailed with a north wind. Okay, that is the end of round 2. We have a blood rain. So that has to go in L or 5. So there's L. Not too far from me. 5 isn't too far either. You know what? We can put let's put the blood rain right here. Okay. And roll the dice. Or north winds. Oh, there's an east wind. If I explore 2 provisions, 2 gold, and 1 story, I think I'll do that. And we'll explore here where I get an extra gold. So 2 provisions. 1, 2. Now my ship is full. It can hold 5. 2 gold. 1, 2 gold. Plus my bonus gold for exploring there. And 1 story point. So now the next story point I score is going to earn me a resupply, which fills up my hold. So I might want to try and sail and use up those provisions if I'm going to get a story. Let's see. I could sail east. And then when I sail northeast, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I could go 5, 6. and end up there. It would use up 3 of my provisions. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and end up right here by that storm. That'll use all of my provisions. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. End up there. And that uses 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 movement points. Which might make it hard to sail through that storm unless I get a south wind. Or get something that brings me over to that current. Because you can't stop in a storm space. So let's see. We got an event. So let's flip our event deck. And that says you've had a prophetic dream. Add any 3 adventures to any 3 spaces anywhere on your map. That's pretty nice. That's an immediate event that happens right away. So the event card says you resolve the event and then draw a new adventure card. The number that's on it, some of the events, let's see some of these that I took out. Some of them, like this one, have you pass your map the direction based on the event value. And other ones do different things based on that event value. So there are 8 event cards, 2 each of 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you put 5 in the deck when you're playing. So I can add 3 adventures to any 3 spaces anywhere on my map. You know what? I get to that. Let's put another current there to push me into that port. That would be nice. And let's add some sea monsters. I think I'm gonna, after I get to that port, I'm gonna try and head over to this port. And let's put some sea monsters in the way. It might be a bad thing, but it might not. It might score me some points. Okay. So that was my first event. Yeah, I can count. So now we draw another action card. And it's smooth sailing. So we don't add anything else to the map. And we'll roll the dice. There we go, south wind. That's what I wanted. Well, I got lots of south wind. Okay, so I only have 3 movement points. I could explore and get 2 provisions, but I'm gonna get this resupply because I'm gonna sail through some storms. 1, 2. You know what? Yeah, we'll do 1, 2, and 3 and end up there.
Oh no! Didn't even hit the
and that's going to earn me 2 story points because I sailed through the storm, which is going to earn me a resupply, which fills me up. I've got 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right.
It's east. This is turn 4, so I sail. Actually, I haven't been keeping track of this. Turn 1, I explored. Turn 2, I sailed north. Turn 3, I explored. Turn 4, sailed east. Turn 5, sailed south. You gotta remember to keep track of those. And you don't have to keep track of what you specifically did. You can just mark off each box. But it's just to keep track of 25 turns. But I started doing that when I was play testing initially, just so I knew what I did each turn. And it's kind of stuck. So I sailed south, scored my 2 points, filled up, And I am there. Okay. Another smooth sailing. No. Okay. I am going to. I've got quite a bit of gold, so I am going to use the north wind to sail, and I'm just going to go 1, 2, and that current take me right over here by the pool. Now I went through 1, 2, 3 current spaces. If I was thinking, I probably should have done another current space here and had them push me like that, because every 2 current spaces you go through, you gain a point, a story point. So since I only went through 3, I only gained 1 story point. Could have set it up so I gained 2, but I was banking on being able to hit those sea monsters at some point. That only used 2 of my 3 movement points, though. So I think we're good. Another smooth sailing. I'll roll the dice, even though I'm. Well, yeah, I have to go to port. Okay, but those don't really matter because I am going to go to port. And so when you go to port, the first thing you do is tell your story. Your story is worth 5 points. And then you earn a story point for going to port. And then you can purchase a new ship if you want. And so I'm going to upgrade my ship. It's going to cost 4 gold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I have an upgraded ship. And then I can pay to resupply. And it costs 1 gold, and you can fill up. And it's I got that free resupply earlier, but I'm still going to pay the 1 gold to fill up the 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gets me to the end of this row, which gets me a star, which is a bonus point at the end of the game. Okay, so that was turn 7. I'm going to 8, another smooth sailing. Okay. East wind, and there's a northwest wind. Oh, I forgot to fill in that port. My story. East wind doesn't help much, and the northwest wind doesn't help a whole lot. And I can't explore because I'm not adjacent to land, so I guess I am going to take that northwest wind. So if I move the compass to point northwest, sailing west costs 2, and sailing southwest costs 3. I now have 4 movement points, and I have a hold of 7, so I can move 11. But sailing through the sea monster is going to cost me 1 provision for each sea monster space I go. So I've got potentially 9 if I hit both. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we'll go all the way over to here. So that's 9 movement points and 2 provisions. So let's spend the 2 provisions, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I am empty. But I am next to a place where I can explore and get an extra provision if I do. So I'm going to be able to get at least 1 provision if I explore. So that was a northwest. Okay. 9, another smooth sailing. And I'm rolling a lot of doubles. Northwest or east again, where I can explore. I'm going to take the explore. So we're going to explore here to get that bonus provision. So there's my bonus provision. I also get provision, a gold, and 2 story. Vision, gold, and 2 story, which gets me another gold. Okay. So that's good. There we go. The Condor Current. That is N. That might not really be useful. 09. That's not really useful. Okay. So let's put it over here. Maybe it'll help me get out of here. You can rotate or flip, so that's good. This, but mirror image. Okay, and we roll. Lots of doubles. Okay, north or west? Or I can explore for 3 stories. 3. I'm going to take the west wind. Get over to this port. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 movement and 2. That's plenty. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Another event. Safe haven. The next port you stop at is a safe haven. Instead of gaining reputation for your story, mark an S in the reputation box for the safe haven port. At the end of the game, the safe haven port is worth reputation equal to the number of adventure spaces on your map that you did not encounter, including rocks. You may only visit 1 safe haven per game. Okay, well, I guess if I visit that port, it is a safe haven. But then new adventure. And we have the magnetic anomaly. A or 7. Another one. Over here somewhere. Go ahead and put it up. A. This. Oh, there we go. That looks like we go to magnetic anomaly, right? Okay. And roll the dice. See if I want to explore or something like that before I go to my safe haven port. So give me 1 provision, 1 gold, and 2 story points. I want the 1 provision and gold. Ooh, that would give me. Yeah, I'll take an explorer first. So let's explore. That gives me 1 provision, 1 gold, and 2 story points. 1, 2. But that gave me a bonus story point. And it gave me 5 gold so that I can buy my upgraded ship when I get there. Okay. We got icebergs this time. Ooh. Okay. 03. 0. There is 3. I can't really put it anywhere in O. It's got to go in 3. Looks like put it around this island, or I can put it here, or down a little bit. I think I'll put it around the island. Little icebergs. Okay, there's my icebergs. Roll the dice. Doesn't really matter because I'm going port this time. Man, more doubles. Okay. Going to port. Okay, so this is it's a 5. It's a safe haven port. Okay. But I do get a point for visiting the safe haven. Okay. And I am going to upgrade my ship. It cost me 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I do not have enough gold to resupply. So, not going to resupply. Okay. So we are on turn 13. We're halfway done with the game. Smooth sailing. 2. There we go. No doubles. And it's an east wind. That's actually good for me. So I can sail 5, 6, 7, 8, up to 8 now. So what if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? It'll push me down to here. Yeah. Do have a free move if I wanted to get down to there. So I can explore and get that extra gold. Nah, I'm not going to waste the free move on that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Push me to here. It would take 9 to get to there, and I've only got 8. So that is 5, 6. Okay, so that was an east wind. The end waves.
These guys can talk. So he's literally
Good work. Let's do it. I need to get around this. Do it there, but that would push me out into the ocean.
okay.
We'll go ahead and we'll put it over here. Help me get around.
Okay. Orders.
Okay. So that is straight and an angle. Okay, We'll see if I can make it over there. Okay. Explore and get 2 provisions, 2 gold, and a story, which will get me a free move. Go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Where do we want to use the west wind? So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could sail to there and use up all my provisions. And score a story point for sailing through there. Or I can just explore. Yeah, I'm just going to explore.
This one can I do?
Explore there. And that is going to give me 2 provisions. Instead of spending my 2 provisions, I'll earn 2 gold, which will be good for next time I go to port, so I can resupply. And 1 story point, which gets me another free move. So I've got 2 free moves potentially. Okay. Okay. Fisherman's Doom. So again, with rocks, they have to go in D12 if possible. So there is D12. I'm going to have to put that there. And then it's next to it. So I can put the second one here or here.
Yeah.
And if I put it here, that's going to make it so I can't even get through that way. So I'll put it up there.
Here.
That's 11, 10, 2. 1, 1, 2.
Your strength. Oh, elders are right here. We're going to have the rest of these guys.
Man, all of the other cities are over here. I think I really got to get to the west.
Okay, so strength 8.
So, if I choose west, I've got 2 free moves. I could use them to go 1 and 2. Then I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 movements. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9. Get me to here, and that would be everything. But I make good progress. So I'm going to do it.
D6 adds 2. So either way.
And what if I did a free move and a free move? So there and there. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can get to this spot where I'll be able to explore and get a free story point. Okay. I use my 2 free moves and all my provisions. Hope it pays off. Event. Within the next 5 rounds, players may work together to fulfill the king's quest. Roll the dice to determine the king's quest based on the chart below. So the event value is even, so I'm trying to collect provisions. So for a 1-player game, I roll a d12, divide it by 2. 3, so divided by 2, and it's rounded up. So that would be 2 provisions that I have to get to the king within 5 rounds. And The king must arrive at the port closest to space J8. So there is J8. That's the closest port. Yep, that's good. I think I can get to that port in 5 minutes. Question is, can I do it and have 2 provisions to give to the king? If I do, each player that contributes will earn 5 story points. So that would be a great story to tell. Okay, and then drop into there. That's smooth sailing. 9, 8. And of course, the wind is not going to cooperate. But does the explorer? The explorer is cooperating. I will go ahead and explore. Mark that as west. Explore in 16. So I get 4 provisions and 2 gold and a story. 2 gold. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good. And a story. Okay. Turn to 17. Smooth sailing. It's not good because I got the safe haven thing. I want adventures to come out. Adventures that I don't visit. 4, 2. Okay, I can't explore again, which means I have to sail, but a northwest wind. Oh, this is second turn.
These guys fights.
I have to get there on the 5th round. So I've got to time my stuff just with. So let's see. If I sail northwest, 1, 2, 3, push me to here. 4, 5, 6 to get me there. Let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to get to there, and that's going to cost me a provision, but it's going to earn me a story for going through that. And mark off the provision. I'm just trying to remember. I don't know that I marked off the story point for going through here. I think I marked off the 2 for going through that. Forgot the. But that's okay. It's 1 story point. I would probably be like 1 story point away from getting a provision that I need for something recently. Oh, okay. So that was in northwest. More smooth sailing. More doubles. That's okay. That forward 1. I'm going to explore. I've really only been 2 ports. I need to start visiting more ports, but that's what I was trying to get over here for. Okay, explore.
Okay, all right.
Gives me
So this will
3, 4 provisions. 1,
and
2, 3, 4. That gets me a story. 1 gold. That gets me a story. And 1 story. And that gets me a gold. Nice set of combos there. Okay, and I explored. That. Another smooth sailing. Okay, well, I want to. Let's see. I think I'm going to have to change this language to just be at the port.
So hitting on forward
Instead of arriving at, you have to be there. So you can get there on the fourth run and then visit the port on your fifth, tell your story, or you can just get there on the fifth. But I'm going to get there on this run. And then on the fifth, I will tell my story.
Okay.
See, that's why I play test. Okay, so north. North. There's nothing to visit.
Oh, the buttons.
But I actually want to spend these provisions so that when I resupply, it will get me closer to that. So I'm going to actually choose the east. And I'm going to say I need to use 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Try and use 12. So east 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yes.
How about we do this? 5, 7, 8, 9.
3,
10, 11. That's closer. We'll do that.
Not able to.
Okay, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That way I'll put that one gold that I spend for resupplying to good use. Okay.
I do.
Now we're on turn 5. Okay.
Okay. Sweet. Yes. Yes. These guys are fine. Overcharging.
At the end of the fifth round, you got to be at the port, which means you can't leave the port in the fifth round. Okay. So I am going to port, right? Oh, I have the needle. G 15. There's G15. And I can put it there or there. Go ahead and put it there. That'll be out of the way. I don't think I'm going back there. Okay. I think I'm going to port, but let's see. Maybe I'll get something worth exploring. It doesn't look like that. There'll be 3 provisions of gold in the story. 1, 2, 3. Gold in the story. I think it's more beneficial to go to port. Port. So I will tell my story. 18. And get a point for telling my story there. I'm not going to upgrade my ship, but I am going to spend a gold to resupply. So up to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and now at the end of the 5th round, I am at that port, so I get 5 story points if I spend 1 to give the king 2 provisions, and then I get 5 story points for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which bumps me to a resupply. So 2, 3, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that worked out. Would have been better to use that to get that resupply when I needed it, but it put me up to the points. So that's good. So now the King's Quest is resolved. Got one more event in there if I get to it. Okay, so that was turn 20. I don't know that I'm going to make it all the way back to my home port by turn 25 for the 10-point bonus. I need to tell my story a couple more times, so I'm going to try and hit these 2 ports. Which means I need to get there on 1 turn, there on 2. That's going to be tough. That's 2 changes in directions. I don't think I'm going to get to tell my story twice. I think I'm only going to get to tell it one more. Which means I could maybe make it up to that. Let's see. Okay. Oh, there's my last event. I got all 4 of them. A tidal wave pushes all ships 3 spaces. It's a 3, so it pushes me south 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. The wave, we can color it blue. Yeah. There we go, the tidal wave. Adventures, land, or rock stop the tidal wave. Earn 1 story if you get moved. Okay, well, I got moved, so I get a story point for that, which gets me a gold. Not bad. Okay. Draw a new one. Smooth sail. So we'll get a tidal wave and then smooth sail. So that actually kind of helped me. Maybe now I can hit 2 of those. We'll see. It's still going to be a tricky sail. But I have a full ship of provisions. And a somewhat cooperative wind. It is north, but I need to get it all the way over to here first. So let's see. I do have 1 free movement. Let's see. That would be a free. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have up to 15, right? 5 and 10. Free movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I can make it all the way up. I do have to use my free movement. 13, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, not bad. There we go. There's the crossways current. M, that's not going to help me. And 10. I can't really place it anywhere up there. So the only place I can place it is it's here. Let's see. put it. Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter. Go ahead and put it here and here. I don't think I'm going to make a route to that. But, yeah, never. Okay. That was a north wind. I'm gonna go to port. Okay, so I go to port with a 25-point story. And I will spend a gold to resupply. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and we are getting close to the end. D and 12. Fisherman. I think I already had that, right? Yep. That's the old one. Here. Sawtooth C. Don't have that one. Okay. And 8. K and 8. So there. And the closest in column K that it can fit, which would be. Nope, you can't go there because you can't drop an obstacle over an obstacle. Can't go here because you can't draw or an adventure. You can't draw an adventure someplace that you've already been. So it's my choice of there or there. And we'll put it down here because I'm not going back that way. And okay. Let's see. Am I going to be able to sail around the bend and go up there? Well, maybe. You get a northwest wind. Well, let's see. We do a northwest wind. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. And that is going to be everything I have. I'm not earning story points for these sales, but more important at this point, I'm going to manage to tell my story. That was a northwest wind. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. Cool. Okay. Magnetic anomaly. Already had that one. Leroy through flow. That is an F4. Ooh. Hmm. Shoot. Don't have enough. Let's try this. See if it helps me out. Don't have quite the right spot to get it where I want it to. But we'll see. Okay. We are on turn 24. Don't think this matters because I think I'm going port. Turn 24. Yeah. We're going to go to port. 26. Okay. And we will spend a gold. Go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now we'll see what port I can make it to. I should be able to make it to that. There's a slim chance that I can make it. I did not get to my free move. We'll see. I got a west wind. 1 or an east wind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I can't make it. I should be able to make it to that, no problem. And maybe sail through these two to earn a few points for my final story with a favorable. Let's see what we have. Ah, finally some sea monsters. P11. And that is going to be out of it. We'll just put Skilla and Charybdis.
Closing up in 15 minutes, guys.
Sounds good. Okay, but they were open late, later than this. 11 o'clock is when I was planning on leaving anyways. Okay. See what kind of wind I have for this final turn. Southeast wind, not what I really wanted. I was hoping for an east or a northeast. Let's see. What can I do with a southeast? Don't have any free moves. Oh, actually I do. I have to mark off those 2 story points. I've got 1 free move. And that was when I just went to port, so. Yeah.
Let's just say, I will
When I resupply it. Okay. So this would be, that might be my free move. Push me up to here. And that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I can make it to here with hit all of the storms. I don't even have to use my free move, technically. And I might as well. So there's the free move. Okay, which pushes me to here. And so I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. And that earns me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, look at that. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that got me a free resupply. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh. Let's change that. 9. Actually, to 14. I'm not going to use that free one. So that's going to. So that would be 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So by not using that free move and using the resources, when I got that free resupply, it pushed me up past here, which gets me 3 bonus points at the end. Okay, so that was a southeast wind, and that is the end of the game. So I didn't make it there to be able to tell my story. If I had one more turn, I could have told my story there, but at least I ended at a home port, or at a port. So my final story is worth 34 points. I did not encounter any pirates. We didn't have any pirates in this game. I got 5 for any at a fort. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 bonus points. And so the total, so that is 34, 40, 50, 75, 101, 1, 119, 124. So that's 124. And then my safe haven is worth 1 point for every obstacle I did not encounter. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21. So 145. 145 points. So not too shabby. Okay, well, sounds like I had better pack up because they are closing in 15 minutes and I'm supposed to be out of here. No, they're closing in 8 minutes now. And I'm supposed to be out of here in those 8 minutes. And that is Rolling Seas with the current events expansion that I am currently working on. I think it's been working out pretty well. A couple of clarifications and tweaks needed on some of the cards, but they've been working out pretty good. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in here.
T-shirts. Make one.
There is the last event, 5th event. Okay, well, I will clean this all up later.
Okay, so let's go back. So, first, right? How do you want to?
I'm going to have to sort through these and figure out which ones are cards that should be with this set, which ones were cards from the old set. It's like things got mixed and matched at some point. That's okay. They all work the same. Okay, so that is Rolling Seas. There's my final map. All the adventures I went on, places I sailed, and there's my final ledger. It was a fun game. I saw some cool stuff. Did some fancy sailing there. especially towards the end.
Yeah, you had me on my this is the one. There's no way.
Okay, I'll clean up the rest of this stuff. Okay, real quick. Let's check out the auction again, see where things are at. There we go. Okay. $709, almost $1,000 raised.
What would you say? How many?
That's pretty cool. So 7 days, 0 hours, 2 minutes, which would put it at 11 p.m. But we fall back tomorrow night, so it ends at 10 p.m. Central next Friday. Okay. Well, I am excited to see how this does. It is going pretty great. I am going to sign off about 3 minutes early and stop sharing. So I'm going to sign off about 3 minutes early and be back on at midnight Central Time, so in 2 hours. Remember, every donation on Extra Life earns me another beard decoration. Okay. Thanks everybody for tuning in and checking things out for a few minutes here and there, and I will see you more at midnight. Bye-bye. Yeah.